Good evening, YouTube. Amy's Bro here, and for this video, we are doing a review. Yes, we haven't done one of these in ages. This is the first of 5 that we have coming up. This one is for the BL anime known as Love Stage, which is presented to us by JC Staff, who set the bar. I will say this now. They've set the bar for the way animation could be and maybe should be in the future. I'm going to give them props right now. I gave them props when we did the first impressions, and I mean it now. Oh my god. The animation was really well done. Like, I looked at it and I went, they knew where they were going when it was drawn. That was evident, you know. And that and the ending song, which is really catchy, by the way. I suggest you listen to that once or twice. You won't be able to get it out of your head. Matter of fact, as soon as I get done doing this review, I might go listen to it on loop. But we need, besides the animation and a good ending song, we need the characters and we need the story and the plot development to be even better. And this is where we come into a bit of a problem. I'm going to tell you why. Alright, let's start with the characters. The characters, there aren't many really to memorize. There's Izumi Sena, who's our main lead. There's his parents, who are Nagisa Sena and Seiya Sena. Seiya, S-E-I-Y-A. There's Ryouma, and there's Shogo Sena, the elder brother of Izumi. Those are your 5 characters, okay, outside of course, Ryouma Ichijo, who is another big part of the plot. Those are your 6 characters you have to remember for the entire series, and it's 10 episodes long. So we've got a cast, we've got a small enough cast that you can remember everybody. Now we need them to be able to be developed over 10 episodes. Yes, I know and trust me, that's hard enough to do as it is. And we need them to be likable enough that you can go look at the entire cast and go, I like them, I like them, I like them, I don't have an issue with them. This is where we fall into a bit of an issue. I'll tell you why. Okay. The idea behind the show is the way it starts is 3 of the main characters, well actually 4, Izumi, Ichigo, Ryouma, and the mother and father, Nagisa and Seiya Sena, corrected myself, they appeared in a commercial for Happy Wedding. This was 10 years earlier, okay? And you see the commercial in advance, okay, just so you get the idea of where the plot's going to be going. Izumi is an otaku. He is trying to become a manga artist. That's what his goal is to be. The thing of it is his parents kind of have this set thing where they want him to follow in their footsteps. In other words, to follow into being a performer in commercials and TV shows and whatever. Now, when I first watched the first episode, I actually put this on my blog, my Tumblr. I said, I wonder what is worse, being born into the mob, being born into royalty, or being born into the Sena family. It's really tough, trust me. Or was it, and trust me, if you maybe had to pick one, I'd really have to think about it. Okay? Now, knowing this, and knowing that, you know, basically Izumi's going to get forced into doing the commercial. Well, actually he gets bribed. He gets bribed one time by his brother. Actually gets bribed twice by his brother within the first couple episodes, and it annoyed the living hell out of me. Because I sat there and I went, if this is legitimately going to become a plot point to the entire series, that's an issue. Because it makes Shogo look like the hitman that if Izumi doesn't do immediately what the others want, then he's got to bribe him somehow. And Izumi, because he doesn't think properly, falls for the bribes, fell for the bribes every time. Alright, no issue. Well, that is an issue, actually. And it just makes you really, really wonder, can you really get behind the lead character? Because, you see, here's the thing. The reason that those three have to do the commercial, the mother, the father, and Izumi, are because Ichigo, who was also in the commercial with them 10 years earlier, requested it. Now here's the big thing, right? And this is where I want you to understand some things. When the commercial was done, Izumi was 8 years old. We know this because it explained later in the series he's 18. Alright. So, he's 8 years old. But he was small enough and his hair was short enough he could pass off for a female. Okay. So there's no real issue yet until you go 10 years later and you find out, oh, by the way, now he's a full-grown kid, practically, and he's 18. So, do you see the issue? Well, apparently Ray Segarra did it because he's like measuring him. It's like, oh, there'll be no issue. And then, of course, his mother bawled like a little baby because I want to see Ryouma again. Like, lady, do you understand that your son doesn't want to do the commercial? I legitimately was like flipping when I was watching this episode. And this is only episode 1. We still have 9 more to go through. Here's the and you know, you go through this series, and there was some good episodes, and there was some episodes that kind of made me go, whoa, because the series went from PG-13 to damn near R-18. Okay, because there were some scenes that made you go, yeah, and I'm not lying either. All right. For that, I can't recommend this show to everybody. I'm going to tell you that now. The big thing we're going to have to decide is, can this show be recommended at all? Okay. Here's the thing. The show's story progresses from that commercial through, and the idea is Izumi has this concept that he wants to be in the manga industry, and that is where the story is going, it seems. But there's also the conflict of he has this older gentleman, we'll call him, who wants to be with him, okay? Despite the fact that Ryouma finds out that Izumi is a boy, he doesn't let up, he doesn't relent, and he actually starts pursuing him more, to the point where it's goddamn near creepy. So there's that aspect of it, and it's he does help Izumi. I will say, he does help Izumi with getting a project done that he wanted for a contest deadline. And he actually does a pretty decent job of it. No issue. But the character development that he had over 10 episodes, to me, isn't there. And even Izumi, it was like, okay, you showed a backbone, like, once towards your parents. But towards the end, it started to seem like he really didn't care about the dream that we're told at the very beginning he wants. And he falls into what his parents want him to do. that's essentially the way the show ends. So I sat there and I went, okay, how do I rate this show? Because I don't try to ever downgrade a show because I don't get the ending that I want. But if there's an ending that I feel for some reason doesn't fit with the way the character starts, then that's my issue. Because you go from somebody who's diehard, he wants to fulfill his dream to be a manga artist. He didn't get, but Ryouma got the fucking packet that he got initially rejected, signed by Lulu, the anime character that he likes, or the manga character that he likes, and the editor and the publisher of the magazine. So why would you give up your dream? And this guy bends over backwards for you because he doesn't want to see you give up your dream. And it almost seemed, the way the ending kind of plays out is almost like, that's kind of what happened. So I'm kind of like stuck as far as really how I want to review this one. Is it a bad series? No. There are some good things involved in it. The way you could tell that Ryouma cares enough about Izumi that he didn't want to see him give up his dream, to the point that he went to the editor and the publisher of the magazine and went the manga and the magazine and said, please look at this. I don't want my friend to give up his dream after the initial rejection. So that's kind of like why I went, okay, but they didn't. But the way the story then played out after that, it seemed like they focused more on the entertainment aspect of things. So I'm looking at this like, well, wait a minute. What the fuck was he doing? Why did Ryouma go and bend over backwards to help his friend out then? That confused me. Okay. And there was no real resolution towards the end. There was resolution of something else, but we won't go there. Anyway. Okay, let's do it this way. This is a BL anime, but it can be watched by people. You just have to understand that towards the end it's going to get a little heavy with some of the closer Shonen-Ai yaoi stuff. Especially in the last episode. Shoo! Hello! But is the series good enough for me to recommend? Sadly, no. Because you know automatically, even though you know the audience automatically that it's going for, you try to find things for everybody to enjoy in the series, and I can't do it in good conscience. So I would have to say for this one, it's definitely a pass on it. There were some good things, there were some bad things, but the bad unfortunately outweighed the good for me. And I cannot recommend the series when that happens. Sorry, gang. And on that note, this wraps up this episode of the Crunchyroll review series. Tomorrow night we are going to wrap up Book of Circus. And I'm actually looking forward to this one, only because I have a lot to tell you about it, and we need to really discuss it. So, I will talk to you all tomorrow night. Maybe Friday, depending on when they release the episode. You all have a good one. I will talk to you on September the 11th. Take care.